A surprising name has just stepped up to defend Caitlin Clark. While she's been embraced and celebrated by many NBA grades, the same can't be said for the WNBA community, which has often treated her with envy rather than respect. It's a strange dynamic, but one that highlights the gap in how men's and women's basketball players view Clark's unprecedented rise from the men's side. One of the first to voice his support for Clark was none other than Stephen Curry. Curry, whose style of deep-range shooting revolutionized the NBA, recognized a lot of his gaming. Clark, in an interview, he said, "The way she plays and her range are obviously close comparisons to the way I play, but I think it almost robs her of the rest of her game." Curry was quick to point out that while her shooting gets the most attention, her overall skill set, her floor vision, passing, and ability to fill up the stat sheet night after night make her a complete player. According to him, her shooting ability is her superpower, but it's the full breadth of her game that makes her special. LeBron James, another modern NBA icon, echoed this sentiment, expressing his admiration for what Clark has accomplished on the court. After watching her light up the scoreboard in an NCAA tournament game, James couldn't help but draw comparisons between her performances and his own. Like James in his early years, Clark has shouldered the burden of leading her team to victory, often single-handedly swinging the momentum of games. In his words, Caitlin Clark is the kind of player who can take over a game, who can make everyone around her better while still dominating herself. High praise from someone who knows a thing or two about carrying a team. But there's more to Caitlin Clark than just her on-court talent. Her roots run deep, being from Indiana, or more specifically the Indianapolis area. Clark's rise inevitably brings to mind one of the greatest basketball legends of all time, Larry Bird. In the 1980s, Bird wasn't just a basketball player, he was a phenomenon. His relentless work ethic, his gritty style of play, and his fierce competitiveness made him a household name, so it's no surprise that comparisons between Bird and Clark started popping up, especially as Clark continued to break records and turn head-to-head with her Indiana brand of basketball brilliance. However, it wasn't just the similarities in their hometowns that drew attention. Magic Johnson, Bird's longtime rival, also weighed in on the Clark phenomenon. He compared her rivalry with Angel Reese to his own storied battles with Bird in the 1980s. Johnson noted that while rivalries can sometimes become heated, they also elevate the game and draw more attention to the sport. In his words, Caitlin and Angel have reignited that spirit in basketball where everyone is tuning in to see what happens next. It's like Larry and me all over again. And now finally we get to Larry Bird himself. Bird, who has been relatively quiet on the subject of Clark up until now, has finally broken his silence. Bird offered some advice to Clark as she faces increasing criticism both